in here is because we're tired of looking at the news and seeing our neighbors suffering over there in southwest Louisiana. And it's bad enough that they already got hit by Laura just 6 weeks ago, but another one just ran over them. And we don't want to sit by and just feel bad for them anymore. We want to do something about it. Dwayne Stein is stepping up and taking the lead on this. And the Gumbo Nation is having a supply drive. Southwest Louisiana needs your help. And Gumbo Nation is going to deliver relief supplies on October 20th. Here's where you come in. The relief supplies. That's where they're going to come from. Now, I was listening to Mortgage Gumbo this morning, and Dwayne Stein's joining us now, by the way. Thanks for stopping by, Dwayne.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And it was pretty cool. You're like, I don't know how we're going to get it there. I just know I just have a feeling people are going to step up and do the right thing. And, I mean, before you finish the sentence almost, a guy calls in and he says, look, I got a trucking company over here in Gramercy. We've got like 17 rigs. I'll fill one up. I'll give a whole 53-foot trailer. And if you need more than one truck, let me know. We'll get it over there. So in 2 weeks, you're going to be sending, or I guess it's more like 10 days, you're going to be sending what we hope is a full rig of supplies that are donated from listeners of both your show, our show, and anyone else who wants to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank y'all so much for allowing me to, just take a second and kind of discuss this. And, yeah, that was Freezards Trucking. You got to, I can't not give them a shout out. And, this cause that for folks in our area, we've been through the Katrinas. We know what it's like, this feeling. And to have them in Southwest Louisiana, like I said, 43 days later, get Laura. And, I know personally, because I know folks, can you imagine the blue roofs? Now what happens? Those just got ripped off again, so now they're starting all over again 40-something days later. So I don't know what's worse, the fact that for Katrina you couldn't start for months or getting started, some kind of relief, and then it's pulling the Band-Aid right back off when you think the scab's healed. So, I just can't sit back and going back now for the 8+ years I've been on air with y'all, Gregory taught me a long time ago that, giving back is important, and through Gregory, through all his events, I learned a long time ago, and this year because of COVID, I'm not going to be able to have the events that I normally do, the Help a Hound, the Toys for Tots event. So I just couldn't sit back and watch the folks in South Louisiana. I just can't do it. Seeing just how they are just getting hammered, and so I linked up with one of my marketing agencies, and I just said, we've got to do something to help these folks out. And you got to hear it, and, we've heard so far since. I've had somebody reach out to me and say they've got a connection with the Cajun Navy. So we've got a lot of good things that already is going to happen. So, we're setting up drop-off sites, local drop-off sites for supplies. And initially it was, hey, let's get – hygiene items, cleaning supplies, tarps. Well, I was thinking I'm going to have to take my truck with my face on it and just make a bunch of trips. I hope to make a bunch. Now that we've had Freezards Trucking, now we could start taking on non-perishable goods, right? Water, those things. And what I want to make clear is I'm not hooking up with any of these gigantic organizations out there. I'm hooking up with the folks that are personally there, the sheriff office, stuff like that we could find out to get these directly into the locals' hands, right? Not through some gigantic company who it's got to go through them and all that. So I want people to understand that. That's why, listen, we're not collecting money. We're not setting up GoFundMe accounts and all that. We are going to give supplies that they can immediately use to just offer some sort of relief, immediate relief.
All right, on mortgagegumbo.com, you have a page set up for this, and it says, please, no food, water, or clothing as we cannot transport. Is that still accurate?
No, and that's going to be changed. We'll have that changed right away on Monday. But
what was that for?
Well, because I didn't have I was thinking I'm doing this in my truck, right, or going to have to rent a little something. So I'm like, we're not going to have the ability to do that. So now that Freezards Trucking stepped up, hey, we're kind of reinventing the wheel as we go here. Which, like y'all taught me, hey, nothing beats live radio. Look, you got a company like that steps up that says you could have 1, 10, 15 trucks. Guess what? Hey, I'm going to try to take them up on that and see how many we could fill up. And I know your listeners, the Gumbo Nation, we're going to be able to do this. And you know, and it's just a simple thing. Hey, Gumbo Nation gives, and we're going to do our best to just try to help out as much as we can and just have some sort of impact for them.
Well, we're going to add a tagline to that Winning at Life Nation gives too. And I've got a giant blue tarp sitting in my warehouse, so I'm going to get that over to you.
Thank you.
And some other roofing supplies and stuff that I have on hand, I'm going to get that to you. And I've probably got some other things that people need and people are in need right now.
Man, Gregory, thank you so much. And like I said earlier, I mean, you know, when I started radio, you took me under your wing, and thankfully for you, who's done so much charitable things, I learned from you, and I absorbed. And, you know, this isn't about me. This is about other people, and I think that's what you bring to the table. And I just want to use my airwaves and hey, the ability to, you know, we share a lot of listeners. So if your folks can help out, which you know, I know they will, to the best of their ability. We're not holding guns to anybody's head or anything like that. We know 2020 it hasn't been exactly the grandest of all years for some folks, but just anything that you could do is all we're asking for. That's for sure.
Yeah, I hear you. And we all in this community feel their pain because we know, and that's why we want to help them get through this. It's just 2020 just brings something else. So if it's going to bring it on. We'll deal with it because 2021's around the corner.
Hey, we're in the fourth quarter, and that's not like a football metaphor. We're literally in the fourth quarter of 2020.
Yeah.
So let's just run this clock out, go on to 2021, see if we can have a better go of it next year. Don't forget the pets, though. Pet food.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Pet supplies, no doubt about it. That's a huge thing. So, yes, pet supplies is listed on there. Like we said, cleaning supplies, hygiene, those things. And now, fortunately, we're going to be able to add water. We're going to be able to add non-perishable items. The only thing we're asking that I've been kind of taught on this is just make sure that it's packaged. It can't be open. This isn't a food drive where, hey, bring some cans of that old Spam that's been in there that has a never-ending date on it. We want packaged food that's closed off so we can just deliver it en masse.
All right, find a drop-off location that's close to you. And look, if you're in the Biloxi Gulfport area and you want to volunteer your business to be a drop-off point, let us know. If you're in the Baton Rouge area and you would like to volunteer your business to be a drop-off point, let us know, and we'll go pick it up. We'll make sure we get it. So we already have drop-off locations in the North Shore, St. Bernard, South Shore. You have one on the West Bank. Garrett Dental, that's on the West Bank, isn't it?
They're in Metairie now, yeah. But as
they
we're
moved.
speaking, and this is the beauty of your audience, I just had somebody from Lafourche reach out and go, hey, listen, you can use my business over in Lafourche. So this thing I think is going to be gigantic. And listen, if it takes us 2 weeks and several trucks, we're going to deliver it as we fill this thing up, and then we're going to get there. So it's not like, hey, 1 o'clock on this date, it's going to be done. But we want to give them. I wanted to do it in a couple weeks. That way, listen, next week you kind of wake up from the abyss and figure out what's going on, and we want to be there for them, so to speak, when they ready to rock and roll and get back at it.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. We're going to do something about this, Gregory. We're not just going to sit.
All right, brother.
All right,
Fill up a
boy.
truck.
Thank you, boy.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Throughout this week and help fill up a couple trucks.
We'll talk about how bad the